Hello. In this video, I would like to share with you how to draw angles in standard position and convert between common units of angle measure. Often we measure angles between two sides or edges of an object, like two sides of a triangle. Other times, angles measure the amount of rotation between two positions. When measuring rotation, it is common to consider the behavior of an angle rearranged into standard position. An angle is arranged in standard position when the vertex is at the origin and one ray is on the positive x-axis. The ray on the x-axis is known as the initial side of the angle. The other ray is the terminal side of the angle. The measure of an angle in standard position is the amount of rotation from the initial side to the terminal side. When measuring in a counterclockwise rotation, we consider the measure of the angle to be positive, and when measuring clockwise, we consider the measure of the angle to be negative. A protractor can be used to measure and draw angles. For example, if we were to draw the following angles in standard position, we would see the following. Start by drawing the initial side of the angle along the positive x-axis. Then place your protractor in position against the x and y axis and mark the angle. Then connect the point at the origin with your mark to draw the terminal side of the angle. The same can be done for our second example. After first drawing the initial side and marking the angle, the terminal side can now be drawn. We now have the angle drawn in standard position. Our third example is a bit different, however. Since our protractor only reads angles up to 180 degrees, we must mark the position of a coterminal angle. Coterminal angles are angles drawn in standard position that have a common terminal side. One way to find a coterminal angle of a measure between 0 and 360 degrees is to simply subtract 360 from the given angle measure. In this case, we are left with negative 60 degrees. This would be a coterminal angle with 300 degrees. Since our angle is now a negative number, we must measure and mark our angle in a clockwise rotation. Sometimes angles are not measured using the unit degrees. Instead, they are measured in a unit known as radians. Radians are almost exclusively used to measure the amount of rotation from an initial side or position to the terminal side or position of an angle. The definition of the radian utilizes arc lengths equivalent to a circle's radius to measure the position of a terminal side. Since the length around a full circle, or a 360-degree rotation, is 2 times pi times a circle's radius, we say that there are 2 times pi radians in a complete circle. This is helpful in converting measures as well. When we know an angle's measure in degrees and need to convert to radians, we can multiply the measure by 2 pi over 360, which is equal to pi over 180. When we know an angle's measure in radians and need to convert to degrees, we can multiply the measure by 360 over 2 pi, or 180 over pi. To finish this video, let's practice converting between different angle measures. First, we have a measurement in degrees that must be converted to radians. We would multiply by 2 pi over 360 and simplify. It is customary to leave the measurement in radians in terms of pi. In the next example, we have a measurement in radians that must be converted to degrees. We would multiply by 360 over 2 pi. In the next example, I will multiply by pi over 180, since this fraction is equivalent to 2 pi over 360. For the next example, I will multiply by 180 over pi. Please try the last 4 examples on your own now. Pause the video and resume playback in a moment to check your work. Good luck.